Hey everybody, welcome to Doug and Matt Got Drunk Before This, Season 2, Episode 2. We don't normally have a title beforehand, but this week we do.
Yep.
It's Doug and Matt were late night heroes before this.
Because we are, and it's late night.
It is. We've got some cool stuff to talk about tonight, but first, I'm going to get some things out of the way. You can check out...
Mainly that motorcycle.
Yes. Check us out at www.dougandmatt.com. We're on Facebook. We are Doug and Matt. YouTube, it's Doug, space, and Matt, one word. Twitter account, Doug and Matt Podcast. Gmail... No, we're Doug and Matt on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah. Email dougandmattpodcast@gmail.com. And we'd just like to ask, if possible, we have a PayPal thing on our website. If you'd like to donate and help us pay for all this booze we're drinking.
Yeah.
And the website hosting, that'd be great.
We'll even give a shout out to you if you want.
Yeah, we'll be like, John Smith gave us
$1.
No, we won't berate you for how little you give. So we're going to take our customary pre-game toast shot. Cheers.
Cheers, sir.
To you.
To you.
And Matt's done with his shot now. And now he's sipping a beer. And now he's doing a shot face. Are you about to snarf?
No, I'm good.
All right. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about two subjects.
Yep.
First off, we are going to discuss the current late night talk show host lineup and changes that are coming. Personally, I've never really been a big late night TV talk show fan.
Yeah.
You know, I've liked some hosts, occasionally like this, occasionally like that. But primarily, I've always liked Conan.
Yeah. I love Conan.
But we're not here to talk about Conan tonight.
Yeah.
We're here.
He's actually not on the list at all.
Yeah. We're here to talk about changes.
Yep.
The entire lineup being shaken up.
Yep.
A shake lineup. Or a lineup shake.
Lineup shake.
Lineup
that sounds
shake.
better.
All right.
Like the Shamrock Shake.
So Matt, you have any thoughts before we go down the roster?
Not really. I mean, outside of just, I personally have always loved late night, just because I never watch it when it's on.
Right.
I always do the Hulu or whatever the next morning, but yeah, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, why don't we start with Fallon taking over the Tonight Show?
Okay.
I've seen a little bit of it in clips.
Yeah. Of Fallon or Leno? Okay, yeah.
It doesn't look like he sucks. Because when he had his own show, I thought it was awful.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the writers.
I don't know. It's possibly the writers. I think Leno is. I don't know, because I know that there was a huge controversy over the whole when Conan was going to be taken over for Leno.
Right.
Everything. And Fallon is taking over for Leno, right?
Yes, he already has.
Yeah. Oh, he actually already has?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, they already premiered that. Yeah, I totally freaking forgot about that. But yeah, that there's a huge debate over whether or not he's going to pull the same thing of I'm back, never mind. But he said in an interview that this time he's choosing to leave. That before it was producers saying, or the studio saying, okay, look, we're going to kick you out. And it's well, no, I'm not ready to. That's not. So really it is the studio's fault at that point. But yeah, no, I think Fallon's good. And I like, because he kept the Roots on as his house band. And that's genius, because they are fucking phenomenal.
They are they're
good for that. I'm surprised.
No, I love the Roots. I was surprised that he was able to secure them as his house band.
Yeah. When they talked about how, at least, and I'm not sure how it runs for the current show, but at least when it was on before, they had to write all new material. Basically, each night they couldn't do, they didn't have a library to choose from. So it was like, cool, here's a new song tonight. That's basically coming up with 4 to 5 new songs almost every fucking week. And that's just Jesus Christ.
Well, those dudes are super fucking talented.
Yeah. And Questlove.
Yeah.
I love Questlove, dude.
Now, let's talk about Craig Ferguson announcing that he's retiring.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by it, but then I was like, dude's been doing this for quite a long time.
I was surprised at how long he had been, because it didn't seem like it was that long.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, he started that right after the Drew Carey show ended.
Yeah.
And other than Conan, he was the one that I enjoyed.
Yeah, because he also had that very late night humor of the, I'm kind of sleepy, and he's energetic enough, but not so energetic that you can't keep up at that hour. And it's ridiculous enough that it's like, okay, his sidekick was the skeleton robot,
right.
Robot skeleton or whatever. And it's like, this is genius. Why is this funny? It shouldn't be, but it is. And Craig Ferguson is amazing. And apparently, actually, what made his interviews great, they are not scripted. Where every other show that they come out,
right,
and every other show that they come out, they do the thing about how here's the questions he's going to ask you when you go out there and shit like that. But the thing is that for him, it's like, no, just come out and we'll just talk.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was great. He's just so damn funny.
Yeah. No, he's really good.
And it's dry.
Yeah.
It's off the cuff, just dry. I loved it. I'm wondering who will end up taking that slot.
Yeah.
No clue. I guess we'll see sometime probably in the next few months.
Yeah, probably because I think his job ends in December, I think.
January. Retired. It's either December or January.
Okay.
Is what I read.
Yeah, so they'll probably announce it soon.
Next, let's talk about Stephen Colbert.
Okay.
That's a big move for him.
Yeah. I like it though.
Me too.
When he appeared on Letterman,
right,
last, and they were talking about him coming on and being the new host, and it was great because I think what most people were worried about was that idea of he's always played a character.
Yeah.
On Colbert Report, and it is that no, that's his character. That's something else. And so it helps to see that it's like, okay, no, he's going to do this like a normal host. He's not going to do it as a, I'm going to make fun of this. I'm going to, he'll just be himself.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's going to be awesome.
God, yeah.
And I prefer the Colbert Report over the Daily Show myself.
Yeah.
That's nothing against Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
In fact, he's exponentially better than Craig Ferguson was.
Yeah.
That was his name, right?
Craig Kilborn?
Kilborn, sorry.
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure we just spent 5 minutes praising Craig Ferguson.
That was just a mind slip, sorry. No, Craig Kilborn, who was an ESPN SportsCenter host before that.
Yeah.
But no, I love Jon Stewart, I do.
Yeah.
I just find the Colbert Report more entertaining.
Yeah, because it is, it's not as, it is still telling you the news, but it's more tongue-in-cheek than anything else.
Right.
And Jon Stewart does have a certain
nail
amount
on the head, ranting.
Definitely professional, no, this is what I'm doing. I'm commenting on this.
I may do it in a joking manner, but I am dead fucking serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, I like the fact that Colbert doesn't have 1,000 different people
it's
on his show. It's just him.
Yeah.
You know.
They're not cutting away to anchors every, other segments.
Senior black correspondents.
Yeah.
That are taking over Colbert's spot.
Yeah.
Larry Wilmore, senior black correspondent for The Daily Show, is getting his own show. A thoroughly unfunny individual.
Yeah, I don't find him that... I mean, I'm not going to say... just I haven't seen anything from him that I feel would warrant its own show. And maybe it is one of those, maybe he is even, one of the writers for Jon Stewart or something, and is, really extremely funny. It's just his segments aren't that funny. It's I just don't feel like he's going to be able to pull off a 30-minute show.
The woman, the junior black correspondent.
Yeah.
She's funnier than he is.
Yeah, no, she's great. Yeah.
She would be a better choice, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To take over that slot.
Yeah. Well, and that's even I thought, what's his face? John Hodgkins.
Yes.
That I think, or John Hodgman, sorry. That I felt like even he would do a decent job of having his own show because he would be playing a character as he always does everywhere. And so it's this could work. I think it's going to be one of those, we have to see what happens, because I'm sure he still gets half of the writing staff, so I'm sure it's still one of those, they might have great writers, he might be awesome, but that's an if.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of Daily Show alums,
yep.
I'd like to talk about Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Yeah.
And how phenomenally brilliant it is.
Yeah. Really, really good.
It's like The Daily Show on amphetamines.
Yeah. Well, and that's I was worried that because when he left Daily Show, that they announced that he was leaving because HBO was giving him his own show. I wasn't worried in the sense that he didn't have the promise to do it, because when he took over for Jon Stewart, he was solid.
He killed it.
He was amazing.
I thought it was better than with Jon Stewart myself.
I really enjoyed it. And so it was a good promise going in, but at the same time it was but it's a completely different network. It's not. I'm not sure how well this is actually going to work out. But watching the first episode, which, if I'm not mistaken, is still free on YouTube to watch the first episode.
I watched the second and the third for free on YouTube.
Okay. And it was just one of those, this is really amazing. He's able to do it. Now, granted, it is once a week.
I don't personally think that he could do 4 or 5 nights a week.
No, not with the format that they have.
Right.
Mainly just him for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I had a friend over and showed her the first 2 episodes, and I laughed just as hard watching them again as I did the first time.
Yeah. I watched the first one probably about 3 times. Yeah.
And it's absolutely great. So if you haven't checked it out, check out Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, airing on HBO. 11 p.m. Sunday nights.
Yep.
And you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
For free. So if you don't have HBO, you can still watch it.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all we want to talk about with the late night stuff.
Yeah.
The second segment we were going to do tonight is... let me preface this by saying that I'm not a very large DC Comics fan.
All right.
I have
good preface.
I have certain characters I do like, but overall, not a big fan of the universe. We are going to talk about DC's current initiative to apparently make really good television shows.
Yeah, apparently they're taking over television. To me, it's one of those, when I was talking about to Ernesto about it, that he even said, that idea of, maybe leave movies to Marvel.
Yeah.
And then just focus on taking over television. Like, yeah.
I've personally never seen Arrow. You said you hadn't either.
Yeah.
I hear it's great from everyone that's seen it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've never been a big DC fan.
Yeah. I never felt the need to. I have to go watch this now.
Right.
It looked well produced. It looked fine. Got great reviews. Just never get around to saying, "Hey, let me sit down and focus on this."
That being said, after seeing the Flash trailer, I want to go watch Arrow.
Yeah.
Like the Flash looks phenomenal.
It does. And the idea of CW doing this,
having two premier flagship corporate mainstream shows, not your Vampire Diaries or whatever.
I was about to say, if you say Supernatural, I will slap you because that's
or
just
Supernatural.
amazing. No, but I mean, and this is the same network that carried Smallville.
Yes.
For how many seasons? Like 8, 9 seasons.
There
or
were
some shit?
9 seasons of Smallville.
And so it's like, oh my god, like this has not been just a like.
Dude, does that guy just keep going around in circles?
He's just circling us. We're in the outback. It's Mad Max out here. But yeah, it's that.
Wait, it's my fuel.
That idea of like, they had Smallville for so many years and they nailed that. And then it's like, oh my god, no, you're nailing it with fucking DC. You got it. And that, like you said, that Flash trailer, just everything about that trailer made me say like, shit, okay, I gotta go back and watch Arrow now and get caught up because there is a link that they are crossing over. Yeah. So
Barry Allen was introduced in Arrow first.
Yeah.
But so we'll see. And we'll talk about Arrow once we've both watched.
Yeah. Well, and there's the, like I brought up earlier, the one Easter egg in the trailer for Flash, which was the Ferris Air. That's
where Hal Jordan was stationed.
Exactly. So that idea of, is this their seed to kind of be like, cool, hey guys, and Flash exists too. We've already introduced Ferris. Here comes Green Lantern. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Next, you want to talk a little bit about how awesome Gotham looks?
Yeah, definitely.
Gotham looks awesome.
Yeah. That was the whole segment.
Next. Pretty much. I mean,
there's nothing we can say about that show that it's like can do justice to the fucking preview for it.
Everything about it looks perfect.
Yeah.
To Bullock, the way he looks, to the way Gordon looks.
Yeah.
The way everything is shot, the way the town looks.
Yeah.
Like introducing these costume supervillains before they're costume supervillains. Yeah. Just normal crazy criminals.
Well, and that was my worry, was the initial summary of hearing that Gotham was going to exist. It sounded cool, but it was like, hey, Gotham before Batman, like before everything. And it's like, okay, so it's Sopranos, just we're going to follow the cops. Like, it's just mob run. But they seem to have taken a good step with being like, okay, there's going to be partial mob stuff, there's going to be partial this, but the idea of actually introducing, like, no, here's before the Penguin, before the Riddler, before Poison Ivy. And it's like, holy shit, no, they're actually going to tackle
the backstories of these characters.
Yeah, and it's like, that's, okay, I'm way okay with that. And the guy that they got playing Jim Gordon, I think he has it. Like, he looks
kind of like Russell Crowe.
I can see that.
Like a thinner, I'm not saying Russell Crowe's fat, but the dude's got some bulk on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy looks like Russell Crowe if Russell Crowe was a cop.
Yeah.
An actual
And I like that idea of seeing Gordon before he's the Gordon we all know.
Right.
That idea of like, okay. No, he's a rookie. He's just starting with the group. Like, he's
not a rookie.
Else.
He's already made detective.
Well, yeah, but the idea of like he's new to the group, and it's like, this is where you're serving now. This is what we're doing.
And
like,
he,
holy shit.
as Gordon always is the moral compass
Yep.
Of the squad. And it looks phenomenal, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Of all of them.
Well, and the little kid that's
Playing
playing
Bruce.
Bruce. No, like, I almost get, like, a tear in my eye. Like, every time I watch that trailer. And that whole scene about, like, after the parents are shot. And he's just like, oh, what's your name? He's like, Bruce Wayne. And it's just like, oh my god, like, this is before, like, fuck. Like, because we don't see that. You never see that in the movies. It's just, well, no, it's the, like, hey, I'm a kid. Cool. Hey, give me a blanket. I don't know why the fuck you didn't know it was me. You know, like just like that you're a terrible detective.
But no, in this trailer, it honestly felt like Gordon knew who the kid was.
Yeah.
He was just trying to...
He's just helping him out.
Build
like, it's
rapport.
like, oh shit, man.
with
Like,
the
yeah.
kid.
And he, once again, is that idea of like, okay, here's a millionaire's kid who has suddenly become the millionaire. And at the same time, Gordon doesn't... The way the guy's playing the character is right. Because it's not that like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of you. You're the rich kid. Let's become friends. It's the, no, I'm here to help you. And that line of like, I'll find who your parents' killer is just like, oh shit. Like, awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, with Gotham out of the way, we talk about ABC's big gun, Constantine.
Yep.
It rhymes with fine.
Yes. Jesus. Remember that whole thing you learned in school about when it ends in E? That's, yes. Constantine. Keanu Reeves stars in this new show.
I quit.
Yeah.
No Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
Constantine looks amazing.
Yes.
We've used that word a lot. Well, I have tonight. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're talking about comic book shows, so amazing works. Yeah.
It pretty much hits the nail right on the head, judging
Yes.
by the trailer.
Yeah.
The guy playing John.
Oh, I'm glad you're on a first name basis with this dude. I still call him Mr. Constantine.
The guy playing John looks like they pulled him off the cover of an issue
Yeah.
of Hellblazer.
He looks right. I mean, he looks a little younger but I'm not using that as a like it's like, okay, fuck it. Yeah, okay, he looks like a younger Constantine. Sure. Whatever. At least he has an accent. Like, at least.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You mean this isn't an accent?
Yeah. Demons exist. My hair is black. No.
Jazz! Get the taxi!
No, like the black trench coat. No. No. This looks like Constantine.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
And I'm a little upset that they didn't give it to Guillermo, who originally wanted it. But at the same time, I have no problems with what's happening. Yeah.
I do have one issue. Judging by the trailer, they seem to have changed the whole origin of the character.
Yeah.
Just so you know, in the original comics, Constantine is diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, sells his soul to two different demons.
Starts making meth.
And he can't die because when he does, a war will break out in hell between two demons over his soul.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much immortal. In this, it seems that the reason he's fighting evil is because he accidentally damned a girl's soul to hell.
Something tells me it wasn't even by accident. Like, something tells me that it's going to be revealed as okay, here's a sacrifice that, these are my options. Okay.
Right.
I heard them.
Right.
And that idea of, that constantly haunting him, which does work in the sense of his character, constantly being haunted by the decisions he's made.
Right. But at the same time, both DC and ABC could have gone with the original story and used that to promote don't smoke.
Well, that's true. I think that's one of the things that, because if I'm not mistaken, we see him smoking in the trailer. And so to me, it might have been a compromise of well, this is who Constantine is. He's a paranormal detective of sorts, and he smokes cigarettes. And they're like, okay, we'll allow you smoking cigarettes. Change the story. R.J. Reynolds gives us money.
That could be a factor too, but we don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's a small change.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a big change, but if they spin it right, it can work.
Well, and at the end of the day, the plot that they've chosen, from what I can see in the trailer, looks great. Like, I'm still okay with it. So,
all right. One last thing tonight. I want to ask you
to marry you?
No.
On the podcast?
No. With Arrow, with the Flash, with Gotham, with Constantine, do you think there's any way that they are going to build a cohesive universe with the shows being on different networks? Or do you think that they're just all going to be in their own little universes, non-cohesion?
I don't know. I'm thinking none. Because of the multiple networks.
But DC owns all of the properties, and theoretically, they would have the last say.
That is true.
I'm not saying you have a crossover between ABC, Fox, and the CW.
Well, yeah, and it especially would be a little weird for Gotham anyway.
Right.
Unless you flash forward to when he's Batman and older.
Right.
But yeah.
Make reference to it.
Yeah.
Like in Arrow, maybe word of some dude doing occult stuff named Constantine comes up.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, and I know that, like, Guillermo's original idea for Constantine was to set up the,
Justice League
Dark. I was about to say Dark Justice League. But yeah, Justice League Dark. And that was his original idea. But, with that being said, I don't think that that's going to happen this time. And I feel like Gotham, the trailer for it, seems to strike me as every Batman movie did. Which was that Superman and everything does not exist in this universe.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. One I hadn't considered. I had considered it being in the past thing.
Yeah.
But with Constantine and Arrow Flash, they could very well be happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And with DC owning both all three properties, there's no reason why they couldn't be existing in the same universe.
True. And I feel like with Flash, Arrow, like that idea of Superman existing in that universe makes total sense. Especially since it's from the same network, so effects even and shots even look similar. It's being like, oh, okay, well, this show also happened.
Yes.
And so that makes sense. But yeah, I think the rare group out of that bunch is Gotham. Because it's this one city, and even though every superhero has their city, but at the same time it's like, Gotham always seemed like a world on its own. It's just, here it is.
It's Manhattan Island.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, I think that about does it for the show tonight.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything you want to add, Matt?
I'm good.
I'm good, too. All right. For the Doug and Matt Got Drunk Before This podcast, I'm Doug.
And I'm Matt.
Have a good night. Drive safely.
Drink lots of water.